can do that. I can do part one of a video on Zoom and then put two together. And it's not ideal to do that, but I can definitely do that. I was recording part one and then I was like, no, I won't have time to finish if I continue. And so I had to stop, and then I was like, okay, I'll start over and then second part and put it together. Have you guys been good? Just doing your thing and yeah?
Busy.
Yeah. I can hear you guys. Let's see. There you
Just
go.
been busy.
Been busy. Yeah. All right.
I took a little break and came to Camino Island, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom lives out here.
Oh, where's that at? Tell me more.
It's just north of Everett on the west side.
Oh my gosh, I bet you're like having the time of your life.
Yeah, we went to the beach today and put our feet in the ocean, and it's been lovely. It's been really nice.
Awesome. Take us with you. Come on.
Yes.
Right, Hannah? What are we doing here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, it's my pet friend. Hannah,
I don't hear you.
you have a unicorn behind you. It's my
Yes, this is my daughter. She loved the unicorn.
Oh, that's so
We
cute.
see a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, let's see. Anna's here. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Let's see who else is here. I see Ottilia. I see Dawn. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I got your message. I'll check the week 1, week 2 thing later on. I'll go compare.
Okay.
Yeah. And then let's see. Ottilia's here. Erica. Hi, Ottilia. Hi, Erica. Hi, Davina.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Awesome.
Good.
to see you.
Good. Good. How are you, Kazima?
I'm good.
Good. Good. Oh, I like the pink curtains. That's pretty. Super pretty.
This is my daughter's room.
Yeah. Makila, how are you?
And how about you?
Good. I got your email. I'll reply, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll talk more. Hi, April. Hi. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. How are you, April?
I'm good.
Good. That's awesome. Okay, Lisa is good too. Yes. How about Jen Lee? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, doing good. How about Tracy?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. All right. And then I have, let's see, Aurora. How are you, Aurora?
Good, thank you.
That's awesome. And then I have Perla.
Hi.
Hi, Perla. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are we missing anyone important, like that needs to be here right now before we start, or can we start?
Erica from Group 6 said she'd be in around 7.
Okay. Yeah. So we can get started with Group 5, and then we can do Group 6 next. I had oh my gosh, totally forgot. What's her name? My gosh.
Montessa?
Montessa, thank you. Yes, Montessa. She is out of town, but she was going to try to connect and see if you guys wanted some help with advising. The summer courses are open for enrollment, which is kind of cool. I'm teaching 3 classes. And so one's going to be about STEM science, which is kind of cool. How to incorporate like science and engineering and art and literacy into centers. It's supposed to be a fun class with lots of experiments and hands-on things to do at home. And then the other class is a class that's called, that I named it, one is like Education 101, which is kind of like an overview of education. If you took that class already, then you don't need it, but it's super cool. I taught it in the winter. It was a really good general class to have, really good group. I had really good content. And the other one is a class about remote learning and the creative arts. It's gonna be really fun. So try to get topics that are really cool. So
Do you know how long those classes will be?
I think 8 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And they're not gonna be, they're arranged, so they're gonna be more like online than anything, like more like video based. So you don't have to be like, if you're camping, you're not gonna be like supposed to be logging in like at one day, specific day, if you can't. I wanted people to still be able to travel and do things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so just kind of look for those, and if you have classes that you need to take, those 3 classes for the initial certification too are going to be offered this time. There's a special seminar with Carolyn Fazari, a lab that's going to be really cool. So think about those and get enrolled. All right?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the 3rd class you told us about remote learning.
Yes, you know what I'll do? Let me share my screen. Let me share my
This class 3 credit or 5 credits?
okay, so can you see my my class schedule on the screen?
No.
No.
No, right here. Let's see, share my screen. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I have the first one's called Preschool Seminar. And it is ECED 110. It's so it's a seminar on so it's called hands-on inquiry-based learning, integrating STEM and STEAM, which is like the science-based, into learning centers for early learners with bilingual support if we have Spanish speakers. And the second one is the ECED 216. Advanced special topics. Those are, that one is the, starts right here. Remote learning and hands-on learning anywhere, anytime. Strategies for early learners. Art connections, creative materials, and activities for the early childhood curriculum. So anything that we're not covering like in class, like anything like that is just super creative. The book is super cool.
3 credits. This is 3 credits, yeah?
Can be for between 1 and 3. Like if you're like almost done with your classwork and you need like 1 credit, that could be considered 1 credit all the way to 3. So just depends on where you're at. So Montessa would be able to give you more information, but you can make it be worth 1 credit, 2 credits, or 3. And then the one at the bottom is the education, intro to education, is 4 credits. It's a good class. It helps if you're like thinking about going into the bachelor's in teaching. That gives you a little bit of an idea. And there's other classes that are listed too. Those are the ones I teach, but there's more.
So is this different 101? I had one last quarter, 101, but in general education.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is this different or same?
That's a different one, yes.
We have to do it, you know, to take it.
Some of them are required for your degree, so it just depends on what Montessa has for you, what she has planned. And it might be something for you to take. So those are the ones offered. Look at that. There's mine. There's like Fazari's Teaching Special Studies Lab. There is 105. Most of you already took that. Intro to Early Childhood Education, Health, Safety, Nutrition, 107. 120, the Nurturing Relationships, and then Environments. So those are the ones that we're doing. So usually in the summer there's not a lot to do, but this time we're bumping up our offering, so we have a lot to offer. So just spread the word, all right? Okay, I'll let you guys start, and I'm going to stop my sharing here, and I'm going to allow you to share. And go ahead, anybody from group 5 can go ahead and share.
Dawn, were you going to share?
Yeah, I'm trying. Give me
There
1
you
second.
go. Perfect.
Okay, you guys good?
Yeah.
It's weird because I can't see anybody.
I know, right? Do you have an account?
A Zoom account?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah.
Well,
It's
if you're logged in, you should be able to see your video somehow.
okay. I didn't log it in. I just using like,
Just the link.
yeah.
I see. Might be
Okay.
that- Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. So this evening, we're going to talk about the high scope approach to curriculum. This was made by myself, Danielle Buckman, Don Hoover, Misha Zamara, Jenny Lee Flores, and Anna Manning.
Yeah.
What's that? Okay. So I have never heard of the high scope approach, so this was all kind of new for me, and I think there were a lot of other people that hadn't either. So the high scope approach is the idea that children have the ability to shape and mold their own learning. When children want to learn and when they have the freedom to explore their own interests and build on their own strengths and abilities. The high scope approach focuses on building children's confidence and creativity and independence, so that when they get into grade school, they know how to learn and grow on their own. And the high scope approach uses the 5 ingredients to help the children achieve these goals. The first one is the types of materials that are used in the classroom. They use more open-minded or open-ended materials that allow the children to be more creative and use their imagination. The second one is the manipulatives. Children learn through touching materials, and infants use it even by just putting it in their mouths and tasting them. The third one is the choices, giving the children the freedom to make their own decisions, like who they want to play with and what kind of toys they want to play with. This builds on their independence, their self-identity, and their self-confidence. The fourth one is children's language and thoughts, thinking about how children communicate verbally and non-verbally and helping to advance their communication and thinking strategy. And then the last one is the scaffolding, which is challenging the children to help them build on their knowledge and advance their skills. Thank you, Don. So David, I'm going to say his last name wrong, Vykert, I think is how you say it. He is the co-founder of the high scope curriculum. I mean, he developed this over 50 years ago in 1962 when he collaborated with a bunch of elementary educator leaders. They created the Perry Preschool Project. And this project was designed to help children who are underprivileged in the Michigan. I think it's pronounced Ypsilanti, Michigan. So the program was implemented into for 3 to 4 year olds at first, and it was designed to kind of help prepare them for elementary school. But the school with the program was so successful, and the economical outcome showed a decrease in teen pregnancy, the involvement in crime, and so now the program is worldwide, and it helps millions of children to prepare for elementary school and for life. So the curriculum is actually based off of two different theorists. So we have Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. Jean Piaget believed in the 4 stages of cognitive development. So the first stage is the sensory motor stage, which is how children learn through their 5 senses. The pre-operational stage, which is where children are more egocentric, it's all about them, and they need more concrete evidence in their thinking and learning. The concrete operational is when their learning becomes more abstract, and then the final stage is the formal operational, which is when they are able to be more abstract thinkers. And then we have Lev Vygotsky, and his theory was based on the zone of proximal development, and that's the area where the child is able to work independently, but with a little bit of help in using scaffolding, you can help the children to advance to the next skill set. So, so the high scope curriculum has 8 content areas. They use the approaches to learning, the social and emotional development, the physical development and the health, the language, literacy and communication, mathematics, creative arts, science and technology, and social studies. So those 8 content areas are guided by 58 key developmental indicators, known as the KDIs. So the KDIs kind of help define important learning goals for young children and are used to help assess the children by using statements to identify observable behaviors that the children demonstrate, demonstrates those skills and knowledge in one of those 8 areas. So it's really important for the teachers to keep these 58 indicators in mind when setting up the environment and planning activities for the children. So they make sure that they're promoting and helping with the development of all of the children.
Okay, I might apologize in advance. My boys are playing Fortnite in the other room and I can hear them getting louder and louder. So sorry about that.
No problem. It's just how it is.
What's important to remember about the planning schedule while practicing the high scope approach is to let the child lead. Your team of educators are there to assist in problem solving, but to remember to let go of micromanaging and let the child have the freedom to make their own choices. Teachers use the approach plan to do review sequence. The teachers set up the play area for a group of 3 to 4, and the child takes time to figure out what he or she wants to play with. The teacher then addresses each child about their choice, and they talk about the different ideas they'll use during the playtime. The planning usually takes about 10 minutes, and then children have the freedom to execute their own thoughts. And educators, the teachers, are there to supervise and interact and support children in their learning skill. They're also there to assist children in problem solving. These are some examples of high scope planning templates. The high scope approach has different types of templates for different grades, but they are generally the same concept. Teachers intentionally arrange the classroom and daily routines to develop children's sense of competence, support social interactions, and build a secure community. The high scope curriculum approach always follows a specific structure to implement curriculum. The daily routine is fragmented into segments, and each segment is planned depending on the needs of the program. And it's usually made of arrival and greeting, plan, do, review, large group time, small group time, outside time, transition time, eating and rest time. And by having a daily routine while using the high scope approach, it allows a sense of calm and structure in the classroom, which is especially important because the learning is student-led, which can quickly escalate to chaos if there isn't structure. When the teacher goes over the schedule every day, the child will know what comes next during transition time.
I like how you had the wiggle time over there. Yeah. So some of the things that we use in our traditional, like, like planning, templates, for many different, curricula really kind of come from that approach, if you think about it, right? We're borrowing from different places, and so it's kind of interesting. Can you go back to the slide that you had, the examples of like templates? Right before that one, yeah. Maybe can you, they're little, right? Do you have bigger examples somewhere? No.
No, just right there.
It was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the one in the middle I saw online in a bigger version of that. I have it downloaded somewhere, but it's really interesting how they have their day structure. It's like different ways to go about it. It's really cool. Maybe we can share it later.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so next we will be covering the significance to the 8 domains, which provides a framework for supporting children's real activities. So the first domain is approaches to learning. This includes that children show initiative and are planning. It shows that they are engaged, solving problems, using resources, and reflecting. Children show interest and are actively engaged with people and materials. They will naturally encounter key concepts and skills. The idea is that they will gain knowledge and incorporate these learning approaches in all aspects of learning. Go ahead, Don.
I was muted.
Sorry.
I'm like, wait, hold on. Okay, sorry. Are we good? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. So I'm glad I stopped. Okay, there are 9 social and emotional areas that high scope targets. Self-identity is the way in which a person views themselves and their role in the world. You can help the children do this by focusing within their cultural context. And you can invite families to come to your classroom and share about their lives, their home routines, and their cultures. And by doing this, this helps the other children in the classroom learn about different cultures as well. Sense of competency. This is we want children to feel successful, and a couple of ways we can accomplish this is to give them opportunities, just small ones, even like setting a table or having them help to hand out snack. They just need a lot of opportunities to help build the I can do it attitude. Emotions, we want children to be able to identify, understand emotions, and learn how to manage their emotions. Community, we want children to know the community that they live in. You can do that by taking them out and expose them to places like the libraries, fire stations, police stations, and the farmers market. Building relationships is children developing social awareness of others' perspectives and emotions while also appreciating diverse backgrounds and cultures to become empathetic towards others. Developing the skills to build positive relationships throughout communicating, negotiating conflict, and supporting others. The hope is that they learn to develop skills to make good decisions and they have a positive impact on themselves and others. Cooperative play is allowing children to play with other children and adults. It teaches them valuable lifelong skills. They learn social rules like sharing and taking turns, and they also learn how to solve conflicts. Moral development is simply knowing the difference between right and wrong and to always just try to do the right thing. Conflict resolution. When children are young, adults often have to get involved when there's a conflict. When teachers and parents take the time to help the children properly work through conflicts, this will, over time, help the child to be able to manage conflict resolution on their own. Am I talking to myself?
No,
Okay.
I hear you. We all hear you.
Great. Okay. Physical development and health. So there's 5 target areas. Physical development refers to a child's ability to move and control their body, and health refers to care of their physical bodies of inside and out. To help children get moving, you provide a play environment with lots of space and time. You can add balls and bikes and create an obstacle course. Encourage children to stretch out their body's parts. This is also a good activity to teach children the names of body parts. You encourage families to take walks, hikes, and play games. Be specific in the tasks that you want the child to work on. For example, if it is their fine motor skills that you're targeting, create activities for that, such as poking, squeezing Play-Doh, threading beads, poking straws into holes. All of these activities will help a child to be able to later to write and use scissors. And of course, we want to make sure they're all safe and age appropriate. A child's physical health does have a great impact on everything else in their lives, so it should be focused on. Examples of personal care are good toileting practices, hygiene, such as the proper way to wash hands, washing their bodies, and brushing their teeth. Healthy behaviors are good eating habits, personal hygiene, and exercise.
So the next one is language literacy and communication. So communication, language, and literacy takes place when children feel a connection and have a strong bond with adults. Other ways to build and develop these relationships is through sensory motor experiences. So learning by doing and using their 5 senses, smell, taste, sight, hearing, and touch. And providing vocabulary-rich environments. For example, using new words throughout the day and every day. For opportunities within the classroom, this can be done throughout the routine during the day, while the teacher listens and allows time for children to process their thoughts and feelings. Talking, reading, and singing stimulate child's understanding and use of language and helps them become good communicators. So the 10 key developmental indicators are: number 1, comprehension, so children understand the language. Number 2, speaking, children express themselves using language. Number 3, vocabulary, children understand and use a variety of words and phrases. Number 4, phonological awareness, children identify distinct sounds in spoken language. Number 5, alphabetical knowledge, so children identify letters and names and sounds. Reading, children read for pleasure and information. Number 7, concepts about print, so children demonstrate knowledge about environmental print. Number 8, book knowledge, so children will demonstrate knowledge about books. Number 9, writing, children write for many different purposes. Number 10, English language learning, so children are able to use English and their home language. And the next one is mathematics. So the high scope curriculum encourages how many questions in the math domain and looks at 9 key developmental indicators. This is counting, words and symbols, part-whole relationships, spatial awareness, unit and data analysis. It also compares sizes and shapes and explores patterns. So asking questions like what matches, like which one is bigger or smaller, which one is lighter or heavier than, saying things like, is it under the table or next to the table? The high scope approach supports open-ended materials and hands-on activities. The best thing is to be intentional about whatever concept you are trying to teach.
So creative arts, that's defined as art, music, movement, pretend play, and appreciation of the arts. So art stimulates the brain. It helps children interact with the world they live in by using different types of materials, learning new songs in different languages, and introducing them to different songs and dances. You also want them to explore different types of musical instruments. They often enjoy learning dances from other cultures. Most children love pretend play. As adults, we can join them for a little bit, but it is important to step away and allow them the freedom to do what they want. Art also helps develop important skills like spatial recognition, and motor skills. Creative art can incorporate all educational domains, including social and emotional. For me, I think one of the best approaches to encouraging creativity in children is just having the supplies available and allowing the kids to use their imagination. When possible, it's important to allow children to express themselves. I sometimes think we put limitations on children's creativity, and they should be allowed just to give it their all. I also find it valuable to teach the parents about what art is. We want families to understand how important creative art is to their child and their current and future development.
Okay, so science and technology. The 7 parts to science and technology are observing, classifying, experimenting, predicting, drawing conclusions, communicating ideas, and tools and technology. Science children often learn from hands-on experiences. Early entrance influences their interests later on in life. Science involves a lot of talking, listening, and patience. Technology allows for creativity and freedom of expression. Kids have big imaginations, too big to be contained, where in the past they only had art supplies like crayons and colored markers at their disposal to get those ideas out. But now they have computers, tablets, and so much more to help them turn such thoughts to reality. Technology aids in socialization and relationship building by finding other kids to interact and bond with over technology. Technology allows for independence and empowerment. It's not only the act of creating and doing with technology, kids can carry out that process on their own. Technology improves problem solving and perseverance. It enhances learning, and technology jobs are always in high demand. Social studies. There are 6 social concepts. Social concepts are introduced and embedded in children's learning through various means, ranging from read-alouds, classroom centers, and/or explicit instruction and conversation on topic areas. Social concepts should focus on topics or themes that are representative of real-world situations. The 6 social concepts are: number 1, diversity, which is the study of culture, the art, language, history, and geography of different people. Example, people, places, and environment. Community roles. Another one is community roles, decision-making. Geography, which is the study of physical features of the earth and its atmosphere. History. And then ecology, which ecology is one of the best ways for children to learn about the environment and to experience it. Young children are generally eager to learn how to locate themselves in space, to become familiar with landforms in their environment, and to develop a beginning understanding of the human-environment interaction. 4-year-olds, for example, could make maps of their school using blocks and other manipulatives, as well as through other forms of symbolic representation. So the pros are: children learn through play, where students are encouraged to choose what materials they would like to use, and teachers are in place to support and guide. Also, active learning, it encourages social and problem-solving skills. A daily routine is designed to help children understand what happens next, and usually includes time outside computer work and group interaction, and frequent engagement with children or with parents. Engagement with families starts by developing a positive relationship, open communication, offering resources, and involving families in the child's learning. And the cons are: there's no direct instruction by the teacher. The training costs for educators are high. The students learn on their own, and it's time consuming. The high scope approach is a hard concept for teachers that prefer to have more control of what the child is learning. Once the teacher is able to take the reins, both teacher and student will excel in experience of high scope approach. There can be a financial cost to high scope learning, but there are also many free opportunities. For example, highscope.org/membership has a free membership that can keep you up to date with new and helpful ideas. All in all, high scope approach is a good learning technique that will benefit each child in the long run. It's just a matter of the educator taking the time to prepare themselves to understand the teaching concepts of it.
Yay! Great job, you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions? That's really good.
Thank you.
I like how you had the notes like over there, and you had a lot of notes. So even if somebody was absent, you could have done it, you know, no matter what. That's the point of having those notes. Those notes will help you just be ready for anything. Like when you become, let's say you go for your, you know, bachelor's and you work with, you know, a team of teachers at a school, you can literally train your whole staff, present in front of your principal, and you can have a professional, you know, presentation. If somebody's absent, you can just, in front of everyone, have your notes and you pretend nothing is happening. Nobody even knows. It's great. I think being prepared is the best thing, because then you don't get nervous, you're ready to go. That was excellent. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you like that approach? Do you guys have a favorite so far from all the ones that you've seen?
I like Montessori.
You like Montessori, Anna?
No, I think Danielle.
That's me.
I was going to say that I helped in a kinder classroom, and she uses the high scope approach. I just didn't realize that it was called the high scope approach. But
Oh,
look
really?
now,
In which school?
Sacagawea.
Okay. Very cool. Maybe we should go visit, see what they're doing over there. Next when they open again, of course.
I kind of felt like the high scope and the Montessori are they're kind of similar, I felt like.
Yeah.
I agree.
They're very let the kids learn on their own and build on that creativity and on their own abilities. And I like that. I think that's kind of cool.
That's how I thought that Bank Street approach was as well. They're all kind of similar.
Yeah, and then the planning is a little different, huh? The lesson planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good for us to be thinking about. So maybe something to think about is maybe it doesn't have to be teacher-centered, right? It should be student-centered. Once you are more advanced with your planning, you can let go of that, of too much planning and allow yourself to let the kids kind of guide the learning more. But it takes a little bit of time to be comfortable doing that and not have like a mess of a day. You have to be structured enough and know what you're doing and know how to guide the kids to be able to do that. So you need some guidance, but it's really cool.
Have a lot of tools in your backpack.
A lot of tools in the backpack. Funny you say that. I always mention the backpack. Today, my video that I was recording before I did this, I talked about the backpack again. I should actually get a backpack and then have it on like, hey, here's a backpack. My next video, I'll have a backpack. You watch. My strategist backpack.
I like that.
I'm glad you guys are watching the videos and enjoying those. I make them with love. It's fun. It's a lot of work and takes a lot of energy and a lot of thinking. You're always on, always thinking, but it's good. All right, if you don't have any questions, we'll go to the next group, all right?
Angela?
Yes.
Are we supposed to be taking notes?
Yes, you can take a few notes. So things that the students are doing that you really liked. What was your favorite part of this presentation? Something they can do better next time.
And where will we add them for?
You could add to that same discussion that you did.
So I tried looking for it and it wasn't there anymore.
The discussion?
Yeah.
It wasn't there?
Yeah, because I sent in 1 through 4, and then when I went back, it wasn't there to do 5 and 6. So
Interesting. Well, how about the ones that if you already turned that in, don't worry about it. You can just have your own notes for yourself, for your own learning. Don't worry about going back in and turning it in. If you already submitted it, that's good. I had students having trouble with some of the links that I've posted, giving errors, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes technology is interesting. So, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not going to be like, oh, this person only has 1 or 2, or so long as you went in and you participated, it's good.
Angela, I didn't get a chance to send in my presentation review because I was going to do them all at once and then submit them.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that when you have a chance. I changed the due date as well, so hopefully it's not going to show as late anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because mine wasn't, like even on the grade book, it wasn't even on there anymore.
It wasn't there?
No, so it was just completely gone. So.
Oh, I'm gonna go check on that. Interesting. Interesting. I will check on that as soon as we finish the last presentations. When I log out, I'll go check on that and I'll message you guys. Okay?
All right, thank you.
But if you wrote something there, that's okay. I know you guys are attempting to do it. I guess the purpose is that you have notes for yourself.
Okay.
If that makes sense. If you know what you're doing, that you know that you're learning, that's the most important thing. That's the goal.
Okay.
That you can compare and contrast those approaches. That's the main idea, right? And that hopefully you read the chapter. Chapter 4 is a good chapter. And I know the groups did more than that. You guys went, and find more information online. Some groups had videos or images, and so really well done. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, group 6. Is everybody here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so who do we have? We have, let's see. So April, Erica.
Yes.
Hi, Erica, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So I have Erica, and then I have Victoria, right?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you guys hear her?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, if you can't, let me know because my grandma passed away on Monday, and so we are traveling across country to South Carolina. So I'm in a hotel, and it's a really weak Wi-Fi signal. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, thank you.
Wow, that's crazy, huh? It wasn't the virus, right?
No, and you know what? She's 98, so I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Oh, wow, she lived a long life. That's good.
That's good.
You should go celebrate her, huh? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, though. It's not fun to lose somebody you love and, part of your family like that.
Yeah, I agree.
April, who else? Gracie, I think it's chapter 6, right? Gracie, I see Gracie. Hi, Gracie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I would put my camera on, but my internet's being like wonky right now. So.
Oh, that's okay. Sometimes it's complicated. By the way, I think there's a way, if you guys are having trouble with your internet, if you contact the library, I learned that yesterday, if you contact the library at CBC, there might be a way they can get you a hotspot for free.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. You should look into it. I know that they have, like, some people go and they park by the New Horizons High School area. There's a parking lot Wi-Fi area that you can park there and you can use the Wi-Fi in your car.
That's cool.
That's super cool. But, you want to be at home, in the comfort of your home. You're going to go use the restroom. I mean, you don't want to be in your car for too long or do your presentation. But I think they commented about the library being able to get hotspots for free. So you guys should look into it. If you're having trouble with your internet, do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to look into it. Thank you.
You should, huh? And then I have Kim. Hi, Kim. Kimberly, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm glad you're here. And then is Aurora part of this group as well?
Yes.
Hi, Aurora. How are you? Good. And then who else? Am I forgetting somebody? Okay. No?
Belinda.
Belinda. Oh, yeah. Are you there? Belinda there? She's not there. All right. Well, let's do what we can, right?
Yes.
All right. So this is being recorded, so we'll have the recording for everybody else, and so we'll see if we can do her part. Okay. Okay. So let's get started. Who's gonna share the screen this time?
Thanks. I'm logged in my phone because for some reason I can't log into the computer. I was gonna share it, but I can't. It's not letting me. It's just weird.
Okay, let's see who else could be sharing. And I don't see Montesa yet. I don't think she is going to be able to log in, unfortunately.
Wait, let me see if I can pull it up.
Okay. So yeah, in the beginning of class, for those that just logged in right now, there is the registration for summer is already open while you guys figure it out. And then the classes are already posted and open. The 3 classes for your first year certificate, your 3 main classes are going to be offered in the summer as well. So if you want to take those, I'm teaching 3 classes. One is going to be a STEM class, The other one is going to be a creative, like remote learning and creative arts class. I'm gonna make sure that those classes are fun. Like we're gonna do things at home, like experiments and like recorder videos doing experiments at home and like make like, you know, make things live, stuff like that, like fun.
I have a question. What does it mean when it says 1 to 3 credits?
Well, sometimes, that's a good question. Sometimes, like, let's say you're almost ready to finish your AA, and you have to have X amount of credits to finish, right? So sometimes, like, you're 1 credit short or 2 credits short. Those classes that have that number, like between 1 to or 3 or 1 to 4, it allows you to take just the number you need to be able to graduate with that amount. So you can just pay for like 2 credits and then get credit for just 2, or do 3 or do 1. You know how like the first week of class, like ever, you have like orientation, there's the FYI, that's 1 credit. If you miss that, then you're 1 credit short.
Oh, okay.
So you might need to do something to catch up later on in the, you know, throughout your coursework to kind of get that credit back. Stuff like that. So some of the classes are like that, like the
I think there was one that said 1 credit through 6 credits. I'm like, oh, that's a really big like gap in between.
Yeah, but if you need 6, you can do 6. But if you only need 1, you can just do it for 1 credit, you know. So it's kind of cool how it goes, how it works.
Yeah. How that works out for you.
Yeah.
It works out for the person trying to graduate.
Yeah, that's really cool how they do it in a flexible way for some of those courses, so that way you have like that flexible scheduling. All right, so who's gonna share the screen? Let's see. Any luck? Okay, April, there you go. I see it. Oh, almost. Yay, there you go. Good job, April. Way to go.
Okay.
All right.
So mine is, let's see.
If you don't have notes, you can go full screen if you want to share. At the bottom, there's that little presentation icon. If you're not going to read your notes and stuff, you can just go full screen. One more.
More, right there?
One more.
One more.
One more. The little
That
code. One more. There.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. That way we can see it big.
Gotcha.
All right.
Better, much better.
Mm-hmm.
So our group, we did the creative curriculum. I had fun because I also went online and did some research on this. And can you go to the next page or next slide, please?
There you go.
History and philosophy. Diane Trister Dodge is the original creator of the creative curriculum and founder of Teaching Strategies. The first and second editions of the creative curriculum were created to help teachers organize their rooms into areas of learning. The third edition of the creative curriculum defines the philosophy, goals, and objectives for children's learning and guidelines for teaching and working with families. The first tool for tracking children's progress was included in this edition, the Creative Curriculum and Child Development and Learning Checklist. The most recent edition is the Creative Curriculum for Preschool. And right underneath, I have the 5 guiding principles. The first one is positive interactions and relationships are fundamental to children's success in school and in life. The second one is social emotional. Competence is a significant factor in school success. The third one, constructive, purposeful play supports essential learning. The fourth one, the physical environment affects children's behavior and the type and quality of learning interactions. Fifth one, teacher-family partnerships promote development and learning. Go on to the next slide, please. this this is the creative curriculum throughout the years. You can see there 1978 is when it first started. And then it goes on to 1988, 1992, 2002, 2010, and today the creative curriculum for preschool.
Wow, a lot.
Yes, I was amazed when I surprised when I saw all of this, like right now.
Wow.
You can move on to the next slide.
Okay. Focus on the environment. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. The framework is in play to 10 interest areas considered important in the classroom based on the creativity curriculum. Blogs, dramatic play, toys, games, art, library, discovery, sand and water. What is the other one? Can I able to see right there?
Music and
movement, cooking, computer, and the outdoors. Children are encouraged to actively choose how they use to use a very appropriate materials. These classrooms are designed to offer exclusive message to a welcome diverse families to provide opportunities for children to function independently. Okay. Next one. I think that's Belinda, I guess.
Let's see, maybe click on, see what happens. Let's see.
Oh. Okay, ongoing assessments linked to curriculum. Teaching a Sartorius goal assessment system is an observing tools to children's development and progress to include 38 objects, devices, and areas. Area 4 of development, teacher assessment. Number 1 is social and emotional. Number 2 is physical. Number 3 is cognitive. Number 4 is language. And the other areas is literacy, math, science and technology, social studies, and art.
Okay, this one's mine. Creative curriculum is a system that is set for dual language learning. It helps teachers address the needs of all children. There are 5 volumes. Volume 1 is foundation. Volume 2, interest areas, literacy. Volume 4, mathematics. And volume 5 is objectives for development of and learning, birth through kindergarten. The system's small and large group materials, Mighty Minute cards, book discussions, discussion cards, and more. Was this one Victoria's?
Yes.
Okay. So accountability and the creative curriculum. Reports or documentations and scientific-based data are required to show that the child is making progress related to each standard. Gold is an example. The philosophy of the creative curriculum starts at the early childhood field, is based on theories and research. Increased training for, increased theories for trainings for teachers, and the creative curriculum can improve school readiness as research has shown. Okay.
Okay, so this is the creative curriculum in DAP. The creative curriculum is a comprehensive, fully integrated system with strong roots in the early childhood field. It has evolved over the years to adapt to teachers and achieve positive outcomes in classrooms. So the principles of DAP is importance placed on relationships with parents and between teachers and children. The second one is forced on observation and authentic, I can't even say that word, sorry. Assessment of the whole child, fully integrated into planning and teaching strategies. Number 3 is active roles of children busy at play and in-depth exploration of meaningful topics. The fourth one is emphasis on quality of materials and environmental arrangements. Number 5 is concepts based on backgrounds of research and theory.
That's it. Any questions?
Any questions? What are you guys thinking?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Do you guys know any schools or anyone that use the creative curriculum?
Head Start does.
Say again, sorry.
I said Head Start does.
Head Start does. Yeah, they do that because they can do the assessments, right? They use the assessments.
I use it with ECAP.
Yes. You do with ECAP, right? Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I'm familiar with it, so.
Yeah, I know when you always turn in your lesson plan, you always have like the Mighty Minutes and all the little, you always mention that. I always want to know more about, like when you mention Mighty Minutes, something, you can like even mention a little more so that I know what it is. But it's super cool to see how you can integrate those little pieces into anything, right? So because when I talked about like curriculum is not a box of books, it's like this whole system, and like just remembering that you have to plan your instruction, but you have to be thinking about the objectives so that you assess the students, you know what they're learning. So it's that those two things come together, assessment and then the goals, objectives for learning, and they go hand in hand. And that's why we teach the kids, because we want them to learn and we want to know if they learned. And that piece that, the parents need to know, like, if you already watched my video, I talked about like student-led conferences and the connection with the families and the parents. Like, how do they know if the kids learned and how are they learning and what are they doing, that week or that month or throughout the year? You need to know too, because sometimes you forget, like, what are the kids actually able to do? You go through, like weeks sometimes and you forget, like, oh, does that student know how to count to 10 or read, this word or their own name or write or all that. So just kind of be thinking about that and use those pieces like, like the curriculum portion, like the assessment portion, to help you with like a checklist on what you're teaching them to see if they are actually learning what you planned for them. And check that off. I always had like a clipboard and would go around the classroom and I would be observing kids and writing notes for myself and things I could share with the parents. It's kind of cool. It makes you feel really good when you know that, oh, you're like, oh, that student knows how to do this now, or in this and that. It feels really great. It makes you feel like a really good educator when you know that your job is done and done well, right? All right. Anything else? You have any questions? Anything else you want to know about the class or about